What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, competitive games from tabletop to video games, and today we are reviewing my green Eosmon hybrid deck, which is definitely a really fun deck. Now, definitely have to point out that this is definitely not a competitive deck, but for casual play it is very fun to use. Now, you could take it to competitive events, but for the cost of this deck you could potentially just build a higher tier deck for the same price range. But definitely been having a lot of fun with this deck. The main focus of this deck is actually to swarm with the Eosmons, but also to quicker on the evolutions of them as well. So it focuses on evolving your Digimon as fast as possible so you can actually swarm the board. So friendly reminder to definitely like and subscribe, and especially subscribe if you guys want to enter in our amazing giveaways. So starting with the Digi Eggs, we do have 4 Pinamon. Now we are only playing 4 Digi Eggs because we're not really focusing on the level 3 rookies. So it's very rare that we actually use all our Digi Eggs. Next, for the rookies, we do have 4 Morphamon, which is definitely mandatory in this build because we are playing green, but also it benefits a lot with adding our Minoa and also our Eosmon, and especially if we have digivolve him over Pinamon, you can also do the plus draw 1, and if it dies, add 2 more cards. So definitely it is a very fast pace and deck thinning. So it matches with a lot of our strategy that we have in the deck because there is actually a lot of deck thinning in this deck. Next, we do have 4 Terriermons because with Terriermon and Minora, we could definitely lock our opponent in gaining memory. So definitely it is a mandatory card to actually play 4 of. Now, I am not trying to flex here and have the anniversary. It's just these are the only Terriermons that I own. So yeah. Next, we have 4 Bokomon, which definitely is amazing, and it's definitely necessary to max it out on 4 in this specific build because we could actually use Bokomon for many other reasons as well, especially for our digivolving. But also it definitely thins out the deck a lot and get our tamers a lot faster, so we don't really have to rely on playing multiple tamers when we have Bokomon. Next, we do have 4 Beetlemons, which is an amazing hybrid, and especially that it does do some deck thinning by actually adding a GP and a hybrid, which is quite good. Then we have 4 Metal Carpeteriumon, which is also just an extra hybrid to actually digivolve with, but also there's a lot of cool tricks that you could do by suspending one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's definitely mandatory to play Metal Carpeteriumon at 4. And finally, we are playing 2 Rhino Carpeteriumon, and that is our last hybrid that we were playing. Now, Metal Rhino Carpeteriumon is actually an amazing card, especially that we could play for 1, so we could actually do a lot of cool tricks with it. But one key thing to actually notice is that we're not playing any level 4 Eosmon, and the reason for that is that we did cut down on the white tamer, so it's definitely isn't necessary to play it. But also in a format that is very hybrid, it just costs too much to allow your opponent to play a tamer for free, and especially that we are mostly locked in just playing a white tamer for its ability and inherent effect as well. So it's not so good. I'd rather focus on the hybrids instead. Next is a level 5 Eosmon. We are actually playing only 8 because, believe it or not, there is a lot of deck thinning in this deck, and to get Eosmon in hand or in our trash is very easy, so it's not necessary to actually go overboard with Eosmon. I don't see a issue in consistency with doing so, but I am very happy with 8, and I don't think it's necessary to actually play even more than this. Next, for level 6 Eosmon, we have 4. Now, definitely, there is a lot of spamming that we could do with this, and especially that if we actually digivolve this over our hybrids as well, and especially if it has JP, well, guess what? He has piercing and security attack 1 because he has a lot of digivolution underneath it. So it's definitely a very good card. And like I said, we do a lot of trashing and also adding in hand. So we could definitely use the effect of placing minimum 2 at all times. There's many times that it's 2 Eosmon that gets played with his ability, and it's very rare that I only play 1 Eosmon because usually we have at least 2 tamers or more at all times. Next, we do have 1 hidden potential. Now, the reason why is because we are digivolving our green Digimon, so it's very easy to actually abuse hidden potential for Eosmon, and especially that if we could reduce the memory cost for the Digivolution by 5, we get pretty much Eosmon for free. Next, we do have 4 win rate 60%, which is amazing, and this is actually how we actually get some of our Eosmon trash. But also, just for Digivolution, this is never really a card that is stuck in hand, and we also spam it a lot. Now, I understand that if we use it for this Eosmon in total, it's like we're actually paying 3, which is still not bad, but there is a lot of plays that you could do with win rate to actually just speed up the process of Digivolution, so definitely necessary. Now for our tamers, we do have only 2 Minora. Now, the reason why we're only playing 2 is, like I said, this deck thins out a lot easily. Like, it is very fast of thinning out to the point that you could potentially even deck yourself out. So, playing more of Minora is not really necessary, and especially for a play cost of 4, it's kind of hard to be in any situation that if you have multiple of it, that you're going to have multiple on the board as well. There are better tamers that you would like to have it with it. The only reason why I would debate of actually having more of it is because I do really like Minora with Terriermon on the board, and if we could do that more consistently, that would be the only argument why we're actually playing more of her. Next, we do have 3 Analog Youth, which is definitely an amazing card in this deck. Not only does it thin out the deck and get us a Digimon, but also with most of all our Eosmon being level 5 or higher, we could definitely gain memory a lot of time, and hatching Digi eggs sometimes are very good, especially that if you just move your resting area Digimon upwards to the battle area, you definitely have a free spot to actually gain a Digi egg as well. Now for a green tamer, we do have 2 Izzies. Now the reason why we're playing this Izzy is because there's 2 reasons. One is the fact that if we have a green Digimon level 5 or higher, or higher, you could look at the top card of your deck. If it's pretty much any Digimon card, you could add it to hand, so it doesn't have to be a green Digimon card on top of your deck. But most importantly, it is a play cost of 2, so it is very low cost, and it has a decent effect that we could plus. So especially trying to digivolve it for a hybrid is a lot easier, and we're not paying so much for it. And finally, we have 4 JPs, which is just amazing. Yes, it costs us 3, but at least we lower our Digivolution hybrid by 1. And also the Digimon actually gain piercing, so if we actually later on go and digivolve it to the Eosmon level 6, now it has security attack 1 plus piercing, which is quite good, and especially there's a lot of combos to suspend your opponent's Digimon as well, so you could definitely abuse this piercing and security attack 1 all in the same go. And that's it for our deck. Now, if you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, and especially subscribe if you guys want to enter in our amazing giveaways. And if you guys want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.